Hey everybody, Mina here, hopping in here with a really big reminder. So today, Dash Insiders Accelerator Program officially opens, and for the next 5 days only, you get it for $7. So don't miss out on it. Go to www.theproductboss.com/dash to sign up right now. Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Mina Kunlo-Sitep, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Product Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Snyder, with my merry co-host, Mina Kunlo-Sitep. Hey, Mina.
Hey, Jacqueline.
All right, so this bonus episode, we wanted to jump in because as we are on the cusp of a new year, as you guys are in the mode of selling, we know that a lot of you, we're hearing it online, we're hearing it in our groups, that you are making excuses. And we wanted to go over excuses you are making that are holding you back and how to overcome them.
And we all fall into this pitfall of excuses, so do not feel bad about this, but we wanted to kind of help you guys work it out in your heads, right? What excuses are you making that are holding you back?
Absolutely. But first, we want to let you know, dun, 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 you can now grab your spot and join the Dash Insiders Accelerator Program. It is live. It is open. Get in there.
$7.
It's $7 for your first month. So this is a quarterly program. We're asking for a 3-month commitment, and 3 months is awesome because we're going to help you plan for 90 days. We're going to break your year up into 90 days. You're going to be put into accountability pods of other fellow product-based entrepreneurs that are going to help you along the way. So it's kind of like that introduction to masterminding. You're going to get monthly trainings from Mina and I, where we're going to train you at the level that you're at. And we're going to have live coaching calls where you get on the spot coaching. All of this and your first month, friends, is $7. That is our Christmas gift and holiday gift to you.
Right. I mean, just imagine what you could do with that $7. You could 10,000 it. I don't know. Like it could literally be just your way of transforming your business.
And for the price of one super special venti coffee from Starbucks.
Grande Nitro with sweet cream and whip on the top.
And maybe an extra pump. $7. You don't do that coffee, brew some at home, invest that $7 into this first month. In the first month, we're going to help you plan out your first 90 days of 2020. You're going to get a super special training and you're going to get put into these accountability pods. You're going to get coaching where Mina and I are actually going to coach you on your business in a Zoom call, not on Facebook, like in a call where we get to see your pretty faces. And that is all at the super special price. This is not offered outside of right now. So you can register, you could join, and head over to theproductboss.com/dash. That's DASH.
Right. We'll see you guys over there at enrollment. Okay. So Jacqueline, excuses. So what types of excuses do you hear all the time?
Okay. Do these sound familiar to you? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I'm not far enough along. And what will people think of
This
me?
is what my mom always says. What will people think?
What will people think?
Yes. I don't have time is a huge one. Right? We did a whole podcast episode on 168 hours. But when we hear that, what should we be telling ourselves?
Okay, so when you're telling yourself that, your brain is going to believe you don't have enough time, right? Oh, you're right. You don't have enough time. Well, what are we doing? Like, how much time are we spending scrolling Instagram? Like, how much time are you spending watching Netflix? Like, where are you spending your time? And so when you think you don't have enough time, it's just more of where you actually want to spend it. Like, what's important to you? Where,
right.
What is important to you? And we talked about that in the 168-hour episode.
Right. I'll sometimes be like, oh, I didn't have time to take a shower today. Well, I had plenty of time to do other things, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't have time. I don't have money is a huge one, right? And we do have that cap to money, right? But what are you spending with your money? Oftentimes, when people don't have money, they're spending it somewhere. So, what can you do to kind of shift things where you would have money, right?
Right. And another time when people say I don't have money, well, you do have money for where you want to spend it. It goes back to again, it's that where do you want to spend your time and where do you want to spend your money? So you might think I'm going to treat myself and I'm going to have that FabFitFun box, or I'm going to go to Starbucks and buy my coffee instead of making it at home. I know a lot of you are on budget, so we're not saying that. But the other side to money is that sometimes it takes money to make money. I know that's a cliche, but it is 100% true. My entire business is built on startups where for the last 13 years I've helped thousands of people start businesses, and they were straight up startups, friends. Like they weren't like, oh, well, I don't have that money because my business isn't making enough money. They knew that they needed kind of like startup capital to start a business. There needed to be some sort of investment. And Nina talks about this. What you put in is what you get back out. Now, we're not saying to like hemorrhage money and dump a bunch of money into something that's not viable. But when you do invest in yourself, you invest in a gym membership and you go, you invest in a coach and you show up, you invest in your business, you invest in a tool that's going to make it easier to make your product. That is going to pay for itself eventually once you start to use it.
Agreed. And we hear that so much these are all limiting beliefs, right? Sometimes it's easier to hear that excuses in our heads because we're giving that excuse to ourselves, and we're, maybe it's because it's like this, the other one you mentioned where it's, I'm not far along enough, right? Where you feel like, you have to get to a certain spot before you can do this.
Right. So when you think you're not far enough along, according to who and what? Like what? But everyone started somewhere. Tiger Woods started somewhere. He was 5 and he didn't know how to golf, and then he did,
Right.
So you figure it out as you go. Now, the question is how quickly will you figure it out? What roadblocks will you come up against? And that's sometimes where you get to fast track it if you're investing into tools, coaches, experts, groups that are going to help you sort of like overcome those bumps faster. But you don't have to be any further than where you are today. So I'd want to give you permission to be where you are and to grow from where you are.
Yes. And the last but not least is, what will people think? This is stifling for a lot of people because they're people pleasers oftentimes. And it's hard to disappoint other people, right?
Yeah.
It's really easy to disappoint yourself. So you just hold yourself where you are because what will people think?
Right. And so that might be, well, I'm quitting my full-time job and I'm starting this company. What will people think? I went through that when I was at UC Santa Barbara. I was at a UC. I worked my booty off to get into that school. Booty. I worked so hard to get into that school. And then I left after my first year and transferred to an art school. What will people think? You're leaving a UC and you're going to art school. Who goes to art school, right? Well, I went to art school and I was quite successful in art school and what I became as a designer. So it's like, if I cared about what other people thought, then I wouldn't have made these choices that got me where I am. I just got a direct message from somebody in our mastermind. We were encouraging her to show up. You know how we've been telling you guys to show up? We were encouraging her to show up and do more lives. And so she went live on Instagram, and I could literally read what she just wrote us because it just came through. She said, did my live. They said they couldn't hear me and my mouth was moving faster than my words with those like crying emoji faces. And she said, I just kept going. She started somewhere, and it doesn't matter what people think. She showed up, they responded. So she actually has people that were engaging, and she's going to do it again. And next time she's going to do it better.
Right. What if she had stopped herself? What will people think? Even the people that start on Etsy, right? They're like, but what will people think if they know I'm trying to sell these crochet hats? What will people think if I ask them if they want to try my homemade salsa? What will people think if I say I have if I show up in their live feed? What will people think? And those are my friends. Those are my cousins.
Or I had a sale and nobody bought. Or I launched my business and nobody bought. What will people think? People don't know anything.
They don't know.
know.
And they're usually not thinking anything, quite honestly.
They don't know what you're selling. And we've talked about like, you can be your own hype, like I am selling out. They are all sold out. Well, they actually didn't come in from the factory, but
Yeah. I mean, it's so true, right? I want to give them the tip that you were saying, right? Or that you always say when the excuses. So let's run through these, and I say to you what you tell me all the time.
What do we say?
Oh my God.
You might have to type it to me. So the excuses you're making that are holding you back, all right? What are they, Mina?
Okay. I don't have any time.
And I'm going to ask you back, is that true? Is it true that you don't have time?
I don't have any money.
Is that true? Do you not have any money?
I'm just not far along enough.
Is that true? Do you have to be further than where you are today?
But what will people think?
Does it matter? Does it matter? Is it true if it matters? It doesn't matter. So I want you guys to ask yourselves these questions and think like, is that true? Or what choices are you actually making? Where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your money? Or not even spending, where are you investing your money? Sometimes it's that investment into yourself, that there's an investment into your business. Like my friends, you all make products. We didn't just put up a website and go live. Like you guys had to invest in tools, in materials, in packaging. Now, are you investing in yourself, in your business? Then the question is, are you far enough along? You don't have to be any further than where you are today. And what will people think? It doesn't matter.
And oftentimes they have their own lives to think about,
Absolutely. And you and I both have been in masterminds. We've both had coaches. Like you were in a product like coaching mastermind as well with trainings. Like we have also along the lines, like we've gotten to where we are not alone, where we've invested. And I got to tell you, the first time I ever invested in a mastermind and a coach, I was like, are you kidding? Like I'm going to pay someone to tell me what to do versus.
Oh, you better believe that the best coaches have been under other coaches
100%.
Or at least mentors. They probably are being coached as well.
Yeah. So, and those of you who go to church, like you're being coached on life, right? You're being coached on the way that you are and act out for other
living
people.
in faith and
right. And you having that faith. And so sometimes in business, you need that same kind of person. You need that faith, but you also need action behind it. So we wish for all of you to stop making excuses that are holding you back. We want you to flip these excuses around and ask yourself, is that true? And then we want you to take 2020. We want you to move into the new year, into the new decade, and make choices. Like Mina just told our masterminders, because we're going into the holidays. She said to them, like, he wanted them to just show up a little bit different than where they started.
Right. That's because there's a shift that happens when people go through the mastermind with us. And a lot of times it's hard to see especially we had the Build mastermind today and they're in startups. So it's quite a bit harder. They have a lot of mindset things. They have a lot of reinvestment of money into production and making a lot of changes. They're not sure what's going to stick and what's not going to stick. But by the end of the mastermind, their presence is different, right? They're showing up differently for their customers. They're showing up differently for themselves. Something has switched inside of them that they're just more confident about their product, their message, their platform, whether it be social media or any of those things. I want them to feel that. I want them to feel that shift and that different presence that they have with us after they get through the mastermind.
And we want the same for you. So showing up and listening to this podcast weekly with us, we want to help you guys transform. If you want to go deeper with us, we have our programs to work with you deeper. So we invite you to either apply to the masterminds or join Dash Insiders, which is now open. And we have so many people that have joined so far. We are so excited about it. So head over to theproductboss.com/programs and pick which one is right for you.
And we wish you a Merry Christmas too. I thought that's what you're going to say when you were like, we wish you.
And a happy Hanukkah and anything else that you're celebrating. And whatever the case, we wish you a happy new year. We're not there yet, but we're wishing you just the best. We just want the best for you moving forward. Like you are investing your time, your blood, sweat, tears, time, money, energy, and we just want whatever is out there for you to be the best possible thing for you.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.